Hey there, welcome to Pop Culture Cupid.
I'm Alison, love coach, here to help you single people find your way back to love.
And I'm Michal, I'm a single life coach. I help singles embrace themselves and their singleness, as well as develop a healthy self relationship.
In this podcast, we will look at how pop culture impacts romance, dating, and your love life.
And each week, we'll shoot another arrow through another pop culture delusion.
I thought we weren't going to do the whole cheesy thing.
And then burst into smithereens.
Oh my god, dude, that's so cringe!
Sorry, it's in the intro now.
If you make it through the chaos and you enjoy what you hear, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and go to all the social media.
At Pop Culture Cupid on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy!
Hello again.
So long.
I know. I mean, it's funny.
You
How
have you been?
It's been so long. It's been great. I've been great. I feel lighter, energized.
Yeah, we've had a lot of time to rest up.
I know, and just to kind of plan the episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, our huge audience right now is not understanding what we're talking about, so we're just gonna behind the scenes. We only stopped recording it a couple of minutes ago, and I've decided to go straight into the next one because of our busy lives.
Very busy bees, but
exactly.
You know, we make it work. We make it work.
We said we were going to talk about how our relationships ended. So I don't know if these are going to be posted one after the other, and it doesn't really matter because we're not building on last episode. But yeah, I was reflecting on like talking about past relationships and things like that, and I realized that I've been on a journey with my relationships and why they ended and things like that. I mean, I reckon I would say 3 ex-boyfriends. Like, there's no doubt about that they are my ex-boyfriends, and then there's one, it's kind of in the middle. I don't really know, and I'll ask for your, like, you'll tell me how you feel. What about you?
So before my current boyfriend, I was technically single for 7 years from my last serious relationship. So I've had 3 serious boyfriends, and between the ages of like 16, 17 to 26. So I've always been the one with the boyfriend in those years. And then since then, I've had, like, especially in the beginning, I've dated for a month or 2 here, a month or 2, 3 there. So I don't know. On the one hand, like, there was a couple of them that really did feel like a breakup. But then, like, how can you consider just a month or 2 an actual, you know what I mean? So
exactly.
So yeah.
That's so it's not a month or 2. What I'm referring to is not a month or 2, but it's in that type of thinking. Where, so this guy and I, we tried being in a relationship twice, and the first time I had gone traveling to Italy, and so we were kind of in touch for 3 months. 2 of those months I was in Italy, and it wasn't really going anywhere, and I ended it because he wasn't respecting my boundaries. So he considers me to be an ex-girlfriend after that period, and I was like, well, no, we were, I mean, fine. And then the second time we tried, a lockdown happened, and so we were messaging during lockdown, but we went on a couple of dates before lockdown and a couple of dates after lockdown, and didn't see each other for 4 months of lockdown because he was with his sick mother. So it's like, it was about 5 months of writing to each other. Does that really count as a relationship? So yeah, but anyway, those are not the interesting ones of why the relationships ended. So yeah, I would, personally, there's one relationship, so not the previous one, the one before, this guy and I feel like, aside from the fact that I didn't follow any of the red flags that I'm going to talk about, we did everything in the right order. We were friends, and then we dated, and then we dated for a while, and then we moved in together, and we moved in together for a while, and then we bought a place. And
Wow.
actually, the place that I'm recording in now and living now. And then we broke up. And it's such a long story, and I don't know how to. So while we were dating, before we lived together, I realized that he had cheated on me. And everything in my body screamed, like, you need to stop it there and now. It needs to be over. Like, and obviously I didn't follow that, but like visceral gut instinct. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I genuinely think that that was the only time that he cheated. Like, after that, I don't think that he cheated again. But still, we should make another episode about cheating and how we feel about cheating. That's not today. So he cheated, and then time moved on, and then about a year and a half later, we decided to buy a flat together and things like that. And we bought the place, we moved in, and once we had moved in, I don't know if I opened my eyes to all the shit that he did, or everything kind of happened. I feel like I opened my eyes, because when I told people about why we broke up, they were all like, yes, none of us understood what you saw in him. He was lazy. He was just unreliable. He would tell me, like, I had ordered cat litter on Amazon, this amazing cat litter, like, that our cat really liked, and I had it delivered to his office because that was the easiest way. And he told me that he had picked it up, and that it was there. And I was like, well, okay, well, you need to bring it back to the place, to our flat, because I need it. And not only did he not pick it up, he let it. He said it was at the post office, and 2 weeks later they send it back. He let it go back. He had told me that he had picked it up. It's just like, if you told me that you didn't pick it up, I would have gone to pick it up. And that was just one of the many, many things. Like, I would finish work really late, and he would finish work much earlier, and I say, can you go pick this up from the shop, and when I get back, I'll cook dinner. So they know you went through the shopping, I do the cooking, and it's fine. I would come back at around 7:30 or 8. He had not gone and done the shopping, and he would say, oh, but I wanted to do it with you. And I said, I didn't want to do it at all. Like, you're not going to be the one cooking because you don't know how to cook. And it was just a lot of shit like that, just so much shit like that. He would just be so unreliable. He would tell me, not, yes, I am going to do this. It would be, yes, that's done, when it would not be done at all. And so one, like, that would build up. And then one day I realized that I was a couple of days late. And so I do a pregnancy test. Turns out the pregnancy test is negative, and then I have my period like a couple of hours after that. And I tell him about it. I say, well, I had a pregnancy scare. And he just loses it. And I'm like, why are you so angry? Like, I don't understand why you are losing it. I don't get it. What's wrong with you? So, blah, blah, blah. It's like, we have bought a home with 2 bedrooms. We are both working. We've been in a relationship for, I think at that point it was about 3 years. Why are you losing it? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? And then I realized, okay, I just can't. And so we broke up, just because so unreliable and things like that. And so during that time, during the time we broke up, so I end up buying his share of the flat and everything, and he's still living here for a couple of months while he's finding a place to live. And he becomes so aggressive, so like I would sit in our bedroom and he would insult me for hours. And one day I pulled back, but he was about to hit me, and I was like, and when that happened, I said, you need to leave. Like, tomorrow you're not here anymore. You need to be gone. And the next day he was gone. All this long-winded story to say that he and I have friends that in common, and the other day, and this one friend, so we broke up in 2019, and then the other day, one of his friends, like, they were still in contact, but she and I were not in contact anymore. And for some reason, we just kind of start chatting. And she tells me that the girlfriend that he had after him went to the police because he actually hit her. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And so I broke up with him in 2019, well, actually December 2019. So just about 4 years ago, slightly more than 4 years ago. And I met with her, I think 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Insane, right?
Wow. Oh my God. Like, where do I even begin? Like, there's so much to say about.
I know.
Well, first of all, I'll say that we have to learn to trust our instincts more. When something doesn't feel right, it usually isn't right. And I mean, I'm not for manipulation, but it's a good way to test a person, to tell them that you're pregnant or that you have a pregnancy scare and see how they react. Because I believe that a person's reactions are who they are. They can say from today to tomorrow, and like I always say, they can testify about themselves and tell you what they're like and who they are. But at the end of the day, it's their reactions and their actions that really tell you who they are. And I mean, even if they're not ready for something, like even if they're not ready in this case for pregnancy and for a baby, it's fine. It's completely fine. There's just a way to respond to it and to react. Like, I mean, I understand it's something stressful also for them, but like, if you can't handle yourself in stressful situations when it's just an assumption, then, or just a scare, then I don't know if I want to be with you when it's the actual thing.
I know.
You really have to be attentive to the person's behavior and not just let the words they say convince you. Yeah.
This guy, so this was just like a couple of weeks. When we moved in, I had already had like a lot of doubts, but because we had signed and bought and everything and let go of the offer, I thought, when we were moving into this new flat that we had bought, I already thought, oh, this isn't going to work out. But because we had, gone through all of the admin and the legal work and things, I thought, I'm just going to stick it out and see if we can make it work anyway, not give up. And so a couple of weeks before we broke up, when I was already like unhappy, I had cooked dinner, like a big dinner, so that we could both have food for the next day for lunch. And I left work that day before he did, and I put his food in a Tupperware on the kitchen table. And so that from kind of our bedroom, the bedroom to the front door, it was a straight line, pick up the Tupperware and then leave. Like, it was just, it could not have been easier, And that day I get home from work before him, open the fridge and see that the Tupperware is in the fridge. And it's fine. I'm thinking he either didn't like the food, which is, happens, or he had plans for something else. And I was thinking, and if he didn't like food, then I'll just have it for tomorrow. If he had just plans for something else, I'll leave it for him for tomorrow. Like, I just want to know. And so I message him, or when he gets home, I say, why is the food in the fridge? And he says,